Today we are multiplying decimals by powers of 10. So by 10. There are two ways to solve this problem. The first way is to shift the decimal, moving it to the right. When you multiply a decimal by a power of 10, remember you shift the decimal over to the right. For example, we have 3.146 times 10. Our directions were to move that decimal in what way? You guys are correct. We are shifting it over. We are moving that decimal over to the right. So first things first, you need to locate that decimal as right here, and we're moving it over one time. So I drew my green arrow, I moved it once, and my decimal found a new home. Its new home is located in between the 1 and the 4 now. So our answer is 31.46. And that strategy is shifting the decimal, moving it to the right. Strategy number 2. So this is the same strategy we could use to get the same answer, except we're using a place value chart. And also, we are shifting the numbers this time. We're shifting the numbers this time, not to the right, but if you take a look here, we're shifting the numbers over to the left. Just like we did with our decimal above, we're shifting that over. In this case, we're shifting our numbers. So let's locate our numbers. Our numbers are 3, 1, 4, 6. So we're taking the number that's being multiplied, which is our decimal, 3.146, and we're multiplying it by 10. First things first, we need to put our decimal in the appropriate place value. So the 3, if we take a look at it, the 3 is in the ones column, in our threes column. So we're going to put that in the ones column. There's our 3. Our decimal always stays the same. Bring down our decimal. Then we're looking over to the right. We have a 1. The 1 is in the tenths place value. So we're going to put the 1 underneath the tenths column. Then we're going to look at the 4. The 4 is in the hundredths column. We're going to find that hundredths column, and we are going to put our 4 right underneath it. And the last number we are looking at is our 6. Our 6 is in the thousandths place value. So we're going to find the thousandths column, and yes, we're going to place that 6 right there. All right, next things next, we need to do our next step. We need to shift our numbers in what direction? We're shifting it to the left. So we are going to be looking at the 3 in the ones column. We're moving that 3. We're taking our arrow, just like we did in class today, right? We're going to draw our arrow, and we're going to shift that 3 over once. We're moving that 3 over. We're moving that 3 over. So the 3 ends up moving over one time into the tens place value column. So there's our 3. Then we're going to look at the 1, which is in the tenths value. It's to the right of the decimal. So here's our 1. It is in the tenths place value. So we are going to draw an arrow. In this case, I'm moving my arrow. How many places? We're just moving it over once. Because when we multiply by a 10, in this case, when we multiply by 10, you shift the decimal or the numbers over one time. So remember, when you multiply by 10, how many zeros do we see? Just one. So that's letting us know that we shift that decimal, or we shift the numbers over one time. And numbers, we're shifting it over to the left. Decimals, you're shifting it over to the right. So the 1, if we take a look back over here at our place value chart, we're moving that over one time. One time. And the 1 is under the ones column now. It's moved over to the ones column. Very good, you guys. We have 2 more numbers we're working with. We are now trying to move that 4 into hundredths place value column over one time. So we're drawing that arrow, and in this case, remember, I'm moving my arrow, and we are shifting that 4 over once. The 4 gets moved, it gets shifted over to the tenths column. And our last number, we're moving that 6 in the thousandths place column. That's getting shifted over and moved once. Over to the left. That's right, you guys. It's getting moved over to the hundredths column. 6. So what is the answer? What is our answer? 3.146 times 10. It ends up being, we'll put our answer down here. Our answer is 31 point, and we can read our chart, 31.46. And that is how we use strategy number 2. Using a place value chart. And we're using that to solve 3.146 times 10. So we are multiplying our decimal times our 10 using our place value chart. Very good, you guys. I am going to link the video in our Google Classroom, and our notes will also be in there as well. I will see you next time. Bye, you guys.